Go ahead.
Welcome to Mal and Nat's Sister Chat podcast. Today is our special Friday. What's this called?
Special Friday.
Friday franchise.
What did we call it? No,
Frenzy.
we're too tired.
Friday.
No,
And
that time of month.
that time of month. That's right. So it's that time of month again. And for the first time, we're celebrating that time of month by
Yay.
talking.
It's not
endlessly.
really. It's just what it's called.
Yeah, it's really not that time of month, but that's what we're calling this special podcast where we don't have a topic and we just talk about whatever's on our minds, which seriously is not that different from any of our podcasts.
So different.
But this one can just go off in really strange places, and it certainly will. So
buckle up.
Buckle up.
We have no plans. This is all impromptu, whatever.
Just a sister conversation on the phone, basically. So with the mic and lights and camera and makeup. No, just kidding.
Yeah, supernatural.
We're just
just a little better.
What was that one? Oh, did I send you that girl? She's got the really curly hair and like eyes those eyes would be big on a cow. They're so big. Anyway, she does comedy videos on like shorts, and she did this one where she's like, so everyone's been accusing me of using a filter. Do you remember me sending that?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry that I'm just better than you guys. Her delivery,
all her expressions, yeah.
She just kills me. I watched that one like 4 times because it was so funny. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what. Like, sorry that my skin is flawless. What can I do?
Oh my gosh.
On it?
I was like thinking the other day, I can't stand like it's when influencers, it's not that they're pretty, it's not that their lives are wonderful and whatever, and it's not even that they're lying, it's that their entire personality is like, I'm hot.
Oh my god.
They're like, I wake up hot, I go to bed hot. When I'm feeling quirky, I wear my hat backwards. And I'm like, oh my god.
And I tell my boyfriend, stop it.
Yeah. And sometimes I make funny faces like this. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. So relatable. I'm like, I can't. Where's your personality?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. And they're like, oh, by the way, here's what I ate in a day, and here's my aesthetically pleasing comforter. And you're like, why? Why does that have to do with it?
I know. There is a level.
I can't stand it.
There is a level of pretty where you can do pretty much whatever you want, and it just looks aesthetically.
You just want to stare at them. Yeah, you can just do whatever you want.
So they can and they know it, and then they capitalize on it. And I'm like, fine if you want to make money on it, but it's really obnoxious. And they pretend that's not what they're doing.
Yeah. There's this girl that tried out for The Voice, and like she was drop dead gorgeous, but I was like, immediately she rubbed me wrong, and I was like, is it jealousy? Like, I was actually being really honest with myself. Yeah. Like, am I threatened? Like, what is it? And I was like, no, she's like so annoying. Yeah. It was like her entire personality was, I'm just really cute. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. I don't know what else is in there. Is there anything else? I don't know.
And you can tell when they're overly adored. Even like, we kind of worry about this with Scotty. We're like, even if and she is really pretty, but even if you weren't really
It's your daughter, by the way.
My daughter. Yeah. She's like only 4. Daughter. Yeah. But yeah, she's my only daughter of 4 boys. And so it's like, you can just tell when a child is overly adored, and I'm like, I don't know how to not do that. She is overly adored around here, so I'm like, hopefully her whole personality isn't I'm cute, her whole life.
Yeah, like well, and I think like if you are drop dead gorgeous and that's your personality, it's kind of double whammy. Like people are definitely gonna be like, okay, you're just annoying.
I don't know.
If she was like medium and then she's like, I'm super cute, you'd just be like, okay, you're kind of annoying, but anyway, I don't know.
I think it's more annoying when they're super not cute, but they think they are. I'm like, that's the worst combo to me. I'm like, at least a gorgeous person, you can understand why it went to their head. When they're not even that cute, you're like, why are you acting like that? You do not have this privilege, but you're tricking everyone.
This privilege.
It's so weird. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was a mean rant. I just, it's not influencers. It's just their personalities. It's just everything about you. Just gesture to all of me.
Just gesture to all of me. Just fix all of it. It's not just influencers. I think that girls sense that in each other. It's why Mean Girls is such a popular movie, because that is 100% real all the way through adulthood.
How they act,
Girls they can tell you where you rank in their mind with one look in 3 seconds, and we all know it, and so it's obnoxious no matter. where you're at. If you're super pretty and use that to your advantage and pretend you don't. Blech.
I do think there is a skill of almost cutting through that. Like, I think women do that to each other, but there are certain women and people who can kind of just like cut through and be like, I'm not playing this game.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'm just going to be nice to you. We're going to be friends. And it kind of, I don't know. I'm like, I think I really aspire to do that. I think it's really cool
she's
when
good at
people
that.
can. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, she's very good. Our little sister, she just kind of loves everybody. And I'm like, I think that is the answer because you could play these mind games like all day.
She definitely could. She's pretty enough too, but she's like, no, I'll just actually be your friend. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cute.
It is a lot. It is a lot more appealing. It's like,
yeah.
Anyway, that was a weird rant. I don't know why.
It was, and I kind of feel bad, but anyway, whatever.
I don't think I do. I think influencer like culture. This is how you should behave so that you can earn money and make people like you is absolutely obnoxious. I can't wait for that to get over with. It is. I do feel like it's trending out. Like more and more people are making fun of that than
calling it out
to it. Yeah.
The whole point is to make you feel bad about your lifestyle and to fix it. And by the way, click this link in my description, and I'm just like, I just really don't like that. It's like salesmen, but
beautiful women
masked. Yeah. There was this one girl, it was just a short, and she was showing her hair, which was ridiculously beautiful. Like it just was like mermaid hair. And she was like, my hair is my outfit. I never leave the house without it looking perfect, and you shouldn't either. And here's like, look in my description. And like, it just was like almost guilting you for having ugly hair. And I was like,
sorry, okay. I was born with this nasty hair. Yeah.
No, I like my hair, but it's not perfect all the time, especially anyway.
Mine I just is like I just
don't like this.
I feel like I'm at an age. Sorry, finish that.
No, I just said I just don't like that marketing ploy.
No.
It's wrong.
I feel like I'm at an age where if I don't actually do my hair too, it's not. I can't just get away with like, oh, I just jumped out of the shower and it's just wavy and pretty. At least mine, especially my hair type and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, whenever they have naturally like Islander hair, they're like, use this product. I fall for it, but I'm like. But yeah,
I mean, she didn't. Like, she styled it and took care of it and all the things. But at the same time, I'm like, you're single. You don't have any kids. And like, I'm like, you don't. Anyway.
No.
Not that you can't do your hair if you have kids. It's not realistic to think you're going to look flawless every day.
No, or relatable. Or like, I have a 17-hour hair care routine. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like booking it 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I don't even have time to wash my hair. Hour. Yeah.
Yeah, these headphones are my hairdo today. I was like, my hair is so greasy, but I was like, hey, I'm going to wear headphones. So
you really can't. So every time we do this, without fail, I put on earrings and overdo my hair. And then I put on, and I'm like, I have to wear freaking headphones. Why didn't I just flick it back?
I know. I've been doing that too. Like, I'll wash my hair the night before and curl it and like make it all styled. And then I put stupid headphones on and I'm like, okay, this time I'm doing greasy hair. I don't care.
I was ready half an hour before I was supposed to be today because I did something really gross. I woke up, didn't even wash my face, didn't even, like, I had on yesterday's makeup, and I was like, we're just going over it. I'm so
How do you have such good skin?
And I was like, I'm just going to put this on and then wash my face after the podcast, because I'm like,
You're so funny. You have pretty good skin for that.
It's the lighting. It's a trick, because the filter on here, too, the, like, blurred out background makes my skin look flawless. Every time I watch these, I'm like, if I had perfect skin, I'd be like 5 points prettier, because it's like it makes my skin look that good, but it doesn't look like that in real life. It just looks normal in real life.
I'm like, it doesn't. No, I think you have great skin.
It is ugly.
You do have good skin. That's why I'm asking.
I don't have distracting skin in real life, but like people have like porcelain skin. It just is.
Hey, Kinsey, our sister-in-law does. Yes. It's like the most ridiculous skin I've ever seen. And she's like, I use water. And
I know. I wash my face with water every day.
Like literally, she just like splashes it, and I'm like, okay. There's no pores, no blemishes.
No, nothing.
Like, what in the world?
In my opinion, it actually ranks. Where do you rank like different things, like hair, skin, I don't know what else. Like eyelashes, features. You know what I
Like
mean?
as far as overall beauty
Yeah,
goes?
it's like what would make you so beautiful? I probably because I've never had it, I am obsessed with like perfect skin. People who just have, I'm like, you win all pretty points. I don't care
It
what
means a
else.
lot of things. I think it means health and like you drink water or something. So I
Right.
think you kind of like people we look at that and we're like, oh wow, they must
You
hydrate
just
or something. I don't know.
glow. Yeah, it just looks
Yeah.
so good to me. I
Yeah.
think like yeah, flawless skin. If I could pick a beauty feature
Hmm.
that I just would have above all others, I think that would be it because it makes you look youthful and everything.
Hmm.
I yeah.
Hmm. My sister-in-law owns I mean your sister-in-law did. Our sister-in-law.
She's
Oh,
not just yours because you hang out with her all the time.
she's my.
I'm so jealous of
Anyway,
you guys over there.
she owns like a spa. What do you call those? I don't know anything. The face spa things. I don't know. It's a spa.
All the face spa.
Apology, whatever. Anyway, but she does like there's so many things that you can do with the skin and
Mm.
she like every time I see her, she does her face is like glowing. Like it really is. Like she takes really good care of it and knows all the things and I'm like I'm not talking about Botox and stuff. I'm talking about like it's almost like a
Yes,
cleansing.
deep
I
clean.
don't even know. She explains it to me all the time and I'm like, "Okay, one more time because I still
Yeah.
don't get it."
In case I
But
was listening, say that again.
and she starts talking, I'm like electro something, and then blood flows, and I
I
don't know what you're
get it.
talking
I
about. But
totally get
just
it.
make me beautiful. I don't know.
I know.
Anyway,
Well, it's probably the difference between like a vacuumed carpet and a deep cleaned one.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
that's exactly. It's like a deep clean.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
You can see it. It
And,
just looks
hmm.
fresh and new. Yeah.
Hmm. And I don't think you need that to be beautiful
No.
because honestly, I thought her skin was pretty before she owned the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make a difference. Like it's like
Yeah.
glowing, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty.
There's a cost benefit analysis there. If like depending on what kind of skin you have naturally and like how much money it costs, how much time it takes and stuff, like I think you can look at that and be like, "Okay, what's worth it to me? Is all this time and money worth, 1 point better skin?" You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But
Right.
for me, it probably would be a huge difference. And like you said, hers is glowing. Is she in
Hmm.
her 40s or not quite yet?
Yes. Yeah. She
And
is.
she looks very youthful. Like she looks
She does.
amazing. So
She looks
definitely cost
amazing.
benefit analysis paid off there
Yeah.
for her. But I
And
could
it's
see
accessible to her and yeah, all the
all
things.
that. Yeah, she can get it for free and stuff. I could
Uh-huh.
see though, like someone like me who I really just don't have, and I'm not complaining. I'm really grateful my skin isn't like distracting, but I
Hmm.
I really don't. Just wasn't born with great amazing skin, and I could see me going through all of that and then being like, yeah, it's like 1 point prettier. That wasn't
Yeah.
worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
I would never pay for it for me, but
yeah.
because it's like my sister-in-law, she's gonna do it for free. I'm like, yeah, sure. Make my
Yeah.
skin
Yeah.
clean it up.
Make it pretty. So, and I think there are things you can do at home too that will at least like you can steam your face once a week
Mm-hmm.
and make sure like you
Mm-hmm.
get all the gunk out and you can double
Yeah.
wash it to get your makeup off and get,
Yeah. And
whatever.
I do think we overshoot things all the time, especially in American like influencer culture of just like, oh, now there's 400 steps and I have to do this to get pretty skin. And like if you just kind of break it down to like what do you actually need, it's
Yeah.
like typically not that much. And I don't know anything about skin, but I'm just saying that for hair because I've learned a lot about hair over the
Yeah.
years. My hair has grown almost to my butt, like I would show you. But anyway,
I
and
know I
it's
need to
like my
get your
hair
tips again.
has never grown past my boobs like my entire life. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like there are basic
You're,
things that you can do to take care of your hair, and it's not products necessarily. There are a few that have helped, but it's not like anyway, it's just I think the same could be said of skin.
Totally. And again, if you looked at it like an object instead of just your hair, your skin, like if you just took your carpet and, dumped crap on it, like we dye our
Yes.
hair and it
Yes.
gets out in the dirt and it gets in the sun, and then we just vacuumed it and we're like, why isn't it growing?
Uh-huh.
Why is my carpet ugly? Like we treat
Yeah.
our hair like it should, just because it's alive or we're alive, it should just naturally be
Yes.
amazing. And
Uh-huh.
you do have to take care of it.
Yes. I actually think of my hair like a very expensive shirt that you want to take really good care of. Like
Let's
I imagine that like you would
dry
like
clean
steam
it
it
and
and you wouldn't yank it with a brush. You'd kind of like softly like you just kind of take care of it. Anyway, it's really changed my mindset of how to handle your hair because I was so brutal with it before. I would
oh,
just get
I'm
like the worst brush and like yank it out, bleach the crap out of it.
can't figure
Why is
out
my
why
hair
it's not
not
helping.
pretty?
Yeah. So my hair is
Anyway.
not. Mine's kind of where yours used to be. It's like boob length, and then it just kind of
Yeah.
falls out. So what's your hair
Uh-huh.
care routine? I know you've told me before, but everyone else.
I wrote it down one time and it's too long to remember. I feel like I'm gonna
What, you
forget
do it
some
every
things.
day?
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I feel like I'm gonna forget something because I like don't think
Yeah.
about it anymore. But so let's see. So basically, I put a deep conditioner in it twice a week, and I
What do
wash
you
my hair
use?
twice a week. I was using like a thing from Amazon, but now I just do like a formula that I make up with olive oil and essential oils.
Okay.
But that's not necessary. You can just use coconut oil. It doesn't really
What do
matter. It
you,
just needs to be.
how does one deep condition? Like,
So
what's
I
the,
will like for the day that I'm gonna wash my hair. I get always excited on hair washing day because it's only twice a week, and it's just like I do all this stuff to it. It's just fun.
Mm,
Anyway, so on the day I wash my hair in the morning, I will get my mask that I made, and I'll just put it in the ends, and then I like twist it around and turn it into just like a low bun. And so it's like a slicked back low bun look that I just wear all day, and then I'll wash it out that night. And
okay.
so
Smart.
anyway, I don't like to sleep in it because it's oily and gets on my pillows, and
Yeah,
I just don't
okay.
like
No,
it.
that's great because I've done those, yeah, night masks, and I'm like, it's a
Yeah,
hot mess, and I sleep
yeah.
crazy. It's all over my
And then your
face.
hair's like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then if my husband's like, hey, baby, I'm like, I got oil in my hair. Yeah.
I smell like
Yeah. I
an
smell,
apothecary. Is
yeah.
that
Yeah.
how
I
you
smell
say
like an
that?
Italian restaurant right now. Let's smell.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Anyway, so I do that twice a week. Basically, the keys of it are that I've learned is like you have to brush it softly, you have to wash it infrequently, and not add heat to it often. And
Okay.
that's like basically the
The
trinity of
formula.
healthy hair. Yeah.
So infrequent washing means twice a week.
I don't think that's what it means. I think it means not every day, which is what
Okay.
I was doing.
Okay. So that works.
Every time you look it up, they're like, everyone has different hair types. I'm like,
Oh my
just tell
gosh,
me.
there's no information. I have tried. Yeah.
I do think like everyone that I've talked to is like, I have to wash my hair every day. It gets greasy. I'm like, that's because the shampoo you're using and you train your hair to wash it
Okay.
as often as you wash it.
Okay.
Because my girls, I used to wash their hair once a week. I know that's gross, but like their hair doesn't get greasy and they use the crappiest shampoo. So I'm like, you train your head to wash it as often as you
Okay.
want, I guess.
Okay.
My hair definitely gets greasy. I use a, what do you call that?
Dry shampoo.
Cornstarch as a dry shampoo because I like dry shampoo. I love it actually. It's just my head is very sensitive and it gets irritated all the time. So it was making it super itchy.
Yeah.
As soon as I stopped, it went away. So I was like, okay, so we're using cornstarch.
Mine gets itchy
Anyway.
with cocoa powder and cornstarch too, though. So I'm like,
Cocoa powder?
yeah, I use cocoa powder. Didn't I tell you that?
What? No, I didn't know that. Oh, because you have brown hair. That's
Yeah.
cool. I never
And
heard of that.
and it has like really, so you look it up. In fact, I'll just read it to you. There are amazing hair properties in cocoa powder, like hair care
Interesting.
properties. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
I bet you kind of like smell like chocolate too.
Yeah, so
Just kinda wanna...
actually I do, but it's not crazy. Just if you get close, I smell like a brownie. And
That's fun.
when I wash it, I smell like a bakery. But it's not
That's
like
cool.
insane where you're like, why do you smell like
Yeah.
a cookie? It's just like you'd have to be like in my hair smelling it, like
Yeah.
Joe Biden, you know? So like,
Joe Biden instead.
Joe Biden would smell brownies on me, but no.
No one else would. Anyway, yeah, I had never heard of that. That's cool. But yeah, so I use like as far as products go, the only one I buy that like I'm like OCD about anyway, I should say, is the what do you call it, leave-in conditioner. Because after you shower is when your hair is the most sensitive. And so and if you try and like yank at it from the top of like a rough brush and like it's still kind of tangling from the shower, it just rips the crap out of your hair. So I like spray a ton of leave-in conditioner in, and then I get a wet brush and I start at the bottom and I just very carefully work my way up. And
like glass,
that makes a
like
big
you gotta
difference.
pretend like it's made.
Yeah, like the videos I've seen that I've researched about it are like your hair has it falls out and then it breaks at the ends because you're just hacking at it, so like you just have to treat it really carefully and then let it grow, and they fall out and regrow all the time. So it's like when you're like, oh, my hair is dead, you're like, just relax, take care of it, and it will fall out and regrow. So just
okay, so don't be like, I gotta trim it, it's all disgusting.
Yeah, he was like, don't trim it, that doesn't make sense because you're trying to grow it. So he's like, at least don't trim it on a schedule like every 6 weeks, like people say. Like I get mine trimmed like probably twice a year, just because that's when I see my sister who's a hairdresser.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's when I can get it.
And right now my ends are like, they're pretty scraggly because it's getting like kind of past the length of healthy, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So it's like it's
Yeah, I was
almost to
gonna say,
my.
show us your hair.
So
Holy moly, it's
this is my
long.
waist. Yeah, this is so it's like right the last like maybe 2 inches is like dead, so I need to cut those. But
yours is a good 6 to 7 inches longer than mine will grow right now.
yeah, that's exactly how mine has been my whole
Dang.
life though, and I'm like, it does work. It's crazy. I was so excited when it grew past my boobs. I was like, it works. So yeah, don't cut it. Take care of it and trust the process that the dead will grow
Okay.
out because it does.
When did you start
Anyway,
seeing results? Was it a year? Was it months? Was it?
um, I mean, I didn't cut. It was probably a year when I was like, okay, I can get my hair really
Okay.
long. Um, yeah, so that's probably.
Cool.
And then when I trim it, I only trim like half an inch. This time I'm probably gonna do like 2 inches because it's pretty like
Okay.
scraggly at the ends. But I usually only do like half an inch just to make it even and pretty.
Yeah.
And then just let it keep growing and to keep taking care of it. And then I only add heat once a week too. That's the other thing. I challenge myself to do like a no heat hairstyle once a week, which is actually really fun because there's
Okay.
a lot out there and you can make it really pretty.
Right.
So like I'll do like braids at night or like they've got all kinds of twists
Right.
and curls you can do. And I don't like those because they're not comfortable to sleep in, but there's a ton that you can do. And anyway, so then just adding heat once a week doesn't damage it. And
Okay.
you can even go blonde if you just are careful with it. If you go blonde all the time and you're just frying the crap out of your hair, you can ruin it. But if you're going like, I don't know, like once a year doing like a balayage, kind of letting it grow out, or twice a year maybe,
Not a big
then
deal.
it can be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Because yeah, mine. I felt like the blonde was what fried my hair, but now that mine's dark, it's basically no, it's not as fried, but it is similar to when it was blonde, and it's just how I'm caring for it. What kind of
Yeah.
shampoo do you use? Because that's what I feel like it's stripping the
Well,
crap out of my hair, and I don't know.
yeah. That shampoo has always been my problem because I have dandruff. So I've had a really hard time finding like a good one, like a quality one that doesn't make my head all weird.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just using Head and Shoulders, which is not like name brand anything. I love name brand shampoo. I've used it before because Vanny will get me some, our sister.
Okay.
But it makes my head all dandruffy, so I can't use it.
So maybe
Anyway,
I need
so
to
don't
go.
ask me about shampoo.
Maybe I need to.
I do use like really expensive conditioner, which I've realized is actually not that expensive. You just think it is because I was
It
always
lasts
like, because
forever.
it lasts so long. So I get this big old bottle from Savannah, which she gets it for me at a discount, so it probably is expensive.
Okay.
Anyway, but I get this big old bottle from my sister, and I like spend way more than I ever do on conditioner, but it lasts me like a year because I'm only washing my hair twice a week. And it's like just so big.
And you're only using
anyway,
it in the ends, or do you condition your hair?
I only do it on the ends. Yeah, just all in the ends. And anyway, and I put it in my hair at the beginning of my shower, and then I do everything else, shave everything, do everything, and then I rinse it out with cold water so that it will.
When you do heat once a week, is that blow drying?
I don't blow dry. No, I don't know the like science studies on that. I don't. But I'm lucky to have straight hair, and I
You
know
are
that's like a
very
problem.
and silky hair
Yeah.
because mine is like I should show on here sometime the difference between blow dried hair and air dried hair on me is like the difference between like a bird's nest and mermaid hair. It's seriously like it makes it look more damaged, more frizzy, more even though it's not. It's like fine. It's just as healthy healthy
Yeah.
air dried. The way it dries makes it look really unhealthy. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It'll like get puffy down at the bottom, and then the top will be like flat.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I think, and I don't know anything about blow drying, but I have heard that you can get like all those heat protectant sprays, which I use those too when I curl my hair.
Okay.
I coat my hair in it when I curl my hair, and then anyway, so you can do that when you blow dry. And I've also heard that you can use cold air. I don't know what that does to hair, but maybe it makes it
I
weird.
used to do that. My blow dryer won't do it now, but I remember when I was
Oh,
younger, I would do the roots just hot because that's what really makes it like give me body
okay.
in my hair.
Yeah.
But then I would do the rest cold, and it would make my hair shinier for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. What
It does, like the few times I do blow dry, I'm like, holy crap, I see why people blow dry. It makes your
yeah.
hair just like
And
flow.
not just for like when you curl your hair, it's like that's the best it's gonna be all week. If I blow dry my hair, it's amazing all week.
Yeah.
It's not just like I have crappy hair all week if I air dry it.
Yes.
Amazing hair all week.
I have heard it makes it less greasy, like you can go longer between washes. I don't know if that's
With
true,
blow
but I've heard
drying.
that.
Yeah, 100% it does.
Yeah.
Not less greasy, but appears less greasy because you just have more volume in it. It's hiding something. I don't know.
And I think there is like an art to styling your hair and still keeping it healthy. I think Vanny would know more about than I do. I'm more like make it healthy no matter what. And I'm not great at styling. Like I curl it once a week and that's it. So
Your
yeah,
hair
I don't know a ton
falls
about styling.
naturally pretty though. Like
It does.
mine
It's
will
very
not do that.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is good though. And like if you have healthy hair and it's long, even if air drying doesn't look as good as blow drying, it's gonna look much
It's
prettier.
pretty.
Right.
Gosh, I love long hair so much. Like I thought I would hate it in the summer because it weighs you down and
Right.
stuff, but like it makes every hairdo look better. Every
Yes.
hairdo. And if you're just like, I'm having like a down hairdo, I don't want to do it today, you just kind of like put it in front and you're like, okay, it's
Okay.
done. Like it looks better, you
Yeah,
know?
it does.
Anyway, my hair's thicker too
Okay,
than
that's what I was
than it
gonna
ever
ask
has
you.
been. So,
Okay. This is
sorry, you
good
got me on a
talking
topic
to
that I'm
you.
excited about, but I was like, I
No,
love
this
it
is
because
great.
I didn't think it was possible, and I've had so many people be like, your hair has a cycle and it's gonna die, and then I found this guy on YouTube who was like, no, like this is how you do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it actually works. And
Okay.
anyway, seen such great results. I'm like, yes, I will preach long hair. It works.
I'm so
Anyway,
glad you piloted that for me because I've done a ton of like hair growth videos,
yeah,
but I'm not patient enough for them, and I'll do them for
yeah.
like a month, and I'm like, it
And you're
didn't
not sure
work.
what's true. Yeah, you're
No,
not sure
it's
if
so
they're
hard.
messing with you. And
Yeah, it's like dieting. You can understand why people get discouraged with that because they'll do something that like they swore this would work so hard,
yes,
for a month, and then
yes,
it's like making you stop
yes.
or like making you act
The
whatever.
guy in the video that I watched said there's like 3 products that he highly recommends, which is leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner, and get like a quality shampoo and conditioner.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't use a great shampoo conditioner, but I actually made my own shampoo. It was a video you sent me.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Did that
So
work?
I made it was way too greasy for my hair type, so it made my hair really greasy, but man, it felt so good. It was like a I don't even know how to explain it. My head was like cool. It was like putting icy hot on your head. Like
Nice.
it was, and it smelled so good, and like I loved it, but it made my hair so greasy. So now
Okay.
I didn't want to waste it, so I washed my hair with that first, and then I put Head and Shoulders on after that. So I can't really recommend it, but I was thinking like next time I make it, I might leave the almond oil out or put in like way less because they had like a quarter cup or something crazy, and I was like, my hair
Yeah.
cannot handle that much oil. It's a
Well,
shampoo.
the girl who made it was a black girl, so I think she
Yeah, and her hair was like shiny and short, and it like worked really
curls,
well.
so it
Yeah.
looked good on curls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, on straight
Yeah.
hair.
Anyway,
Okay.
so
What's your deep conditioner formula exactly? You said olive oil.
it's not exact. So I just get like a little bit of olive oil, and I get the kind that's like not scented like olives. I don't remember the name of
Yes,
that,
it
but
is
you know what
like
I'm talking about. It's like the light colored olive oil. It's not dark. It doesn't have that olive smell because it's
yeah,
gross. But you could also use coconut oil, which is probably better for your hair, but olive oil works too. So
whatever. I was gonna say
anyway,
olive oil is heavier, I think, than coconut oil because I've
yeah.
done both and olive oil. I have better results with olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't put it on my whole head because my hair is so prone to grease, so
Yeah.
I'm just like extra careful about that, but and my hair's so greasy by the time I wash my hair anyway. I'm like there's plenty of oil up there.
Yeah, we're good. We can, because
Yeah.
like from here to here, I always have moisturized hair because I have a really
Yeah.
oily
Yeah,
scalp. But
same.
then here down, it's like dead.
It's the ends. Yes. And that's like what my whole thing is like I'm constantly trying to moisturize the ends because they will get dry. So
Yes.
I also use a oil in my hair. That's more for look than like hair care, I would say though. But anyway, I have this one I got on Amazon. It's called Love Oil. It's
Okay.
like this big. I've had it for over 2 years, and
Mm,
like it lasts so long. I think it's like
it's
$20,
light.
so it's like a little much for a hair
Sure.
product for me, but it lasts so long. I'm like, I will never not use
I'm
this.
gonna write that down.
Anyway, so I put that in my hair right after I shower. I put it in every day after I brush my hair. I'm just constantly trying to like, how can I moisturize the ends?
Okay. Yeah. Do it throughout the day if you're like, oh, my hair's looking a little dry.
Yeah, if you want to. I don't, but you totally can. Um, Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so the deep conditioner that I do. So I just get like a little bit of olive oil. My hair's super long, and I would say I use like half a tablespoon or less. Like it's not very much.
Yeah.
It goes a really long way. So anyway, just a tiny bit of olive oil. I guess all this, so I don't know. And then you get like rosemary, lavender, and peppermint. The
Do those
peppermint I
have?
use.
Sorry. Do those have?
Lavender and rosemary are supposed to be really good for your hair. Peppermint, I just like the smell, so
Okay.
I don't know if it's good for your hair. It might be.
Okay.
So I just put like probably 2 drops of each, and the peppermint is really strong, so it kind of takes over the whole thing. But I like the smell of it. So anyway, and then I just mix it all together. What'd you
Where'd
say?
you get your oils? Did you get them on Amazon?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, and like there's all kinds of like maybe it's not really organic or so. I don't know. I don't really care. I just get it because it
Yeah. Well,
smells
it's
good.
working for you, so
So
I'm like, whatever you're
yeah,
doing, I'm doing it too.
yeah.
You
I
do
actually make
rosemary?
my own face wash with essential oils and stuff too. So anyway, I love that too. That's one of my favorite beauty hacks. But
Okay.
um, anyway, so because I had issues with my face, I couldn't ever find a product that would work. My face is really dry, and I'd actually break out if it was too dry. So it was like
That's
I would get
weird.
product. It is weird. So I'd get little bumps all over. It wasn't zits. It was just like texture.
Yeah.
And I could not figure it out. But I found out my face is really dry, and I was using the wrong kind of face wash. And I'm just
Interesting.
not somebody who wants to spend a lot of money on beauty. I just don't. So
Yeah.
I like a deal. I like to make my own stuff. It makes me
Yep.
happy. So
Yep.
making my own face wash has been like so fun. It's one of my favorite things. I
Okay.
feel like a mad scientist every time I do it. I'm like, ooh.
That
Anyway.
is really, honestly, it feels like you're like hacking the system a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
you see a
yeah. And
$20 face
you
wash and you're
buy,
$3.
yes, you
Yeah.
buy the ingredients and they're pricey up front. Like I think I want to say I spent like $40 for all the ingredients, but it lasts forever. I've made it twice and I still have a ton of ingredients
That's
left
cool.
and it lasts at least 6 months each time. So
Okay.
um anyway,
Um,
so anyway, that's a side thing. Sorry, I was talking about the hair oil or the hair deep conditioner. So anyway,
so,
so yeah, it's just the olive oil and those essential oils. I mix them up, and then like I said, I just put it all through the ends till it's like soaked, like completely soaked in olive
okay.
oil, and then I just twist it around and make a bun, and
You wear
that's
it
it.
all
So
day.
yeah,
So that is interesting because I would either wear it at night and it would get all over my pillow and all over
yeah,
me, or I would keep it in for half an hour and then be like, this isn't really working. But
yeah.
I could see
I would
how
say
all.
at least 2 hours, and you see it like really work. So
Okay, cool.
anyway.
Sorry, it's olive oil, rosemary, peppermint, and what else? Lavender.
Lavender, and I don't know, like I just Google stuff. I don't know anything, so I mean that's just what Google said.
Sure.
But
Well,
you
like I
could
said,
honestly probably
results.
leave out the essential oils and be fine. Like I think the moisture is what's really doing it.
Oh,
um
okay.
because I mean it's like a drop of lavender and rosemary. I don't
Oh,
think it's
okay.
like magically making my hair magic. I think it's olive oil, but I
Okay.
like the smell of it. So
Okay.
anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know anything. So
Sure. I have, yeah, I was gonna say, I think I have peppermint essential oil and that's it. So if I don't want to
yeah.
buy anything, then
Oh yeah, I think you totally could. Even if you didn't want to buy any oils at all, I think you could just use olive oil or
okay.
coconut oil. So, yeah. Anyway,
Okay, so I found the benefits of cocoa powder.
yeah.
It says it's good for hair growth. It contains antioxidants and amino acids.
Mm.
It can increase blood circulation to the scalp, which I don't know about that, but hair repair. It can soothe your roots and follicles and help damaged hair.
Mm.
And it adds shine and volume, which 100% I can attest to. It is like
Wow.
when I use it as a dry shampoo opposed to the sprays, which I love,
Yeah.
it will be like dull at first, and then when I rub it in and get all the oil soaked up, it's like my hair's shinier. It's
Hmm.
really crazy.
That's cool.
It's really
Okay,
cool.
I need that because the coconut or the what am I using? Cornstarch is not working that great. Like it
Oh,
just like it sort
yeah.
of works, and I'm like, eh.
Well, and then with cornstarch, if you, at least for me, it'll dull my hair because it's like
Yes.
light on dark.
Yes.
So when I mix it, I think I do 2 to 1, 2 cocoa powder, 1
Mm.
cornstarch. It's like, it's amazing. And then I found this dry sprayer from Amazon. So basically, you just put your powder in it and it pumps
Oh,
the powder out so you can really target spots. Because
okay.
before I was
That's
like,
what I need.
yeah, it was
Yes,
awful. It was
that's what
such a
I do.
mess.
It's so annoying. I make a huge mess, and I'm like, I hate this. Like, I really want my products back, but it messes with my head so
Yeah,
bad.
it'll make you not miss dry shampoo at all because you can just go and it'll just like
Okay.
kind of, it just
What
kind
is it called?
of,
Like a dry.
yeah,
What is
look
it
up
called?
dry sprayer or like hair powder sprayer or something like that. It's kind
Dry
of a like
powdered
salon
sprayer.
product, but mine was only like
Okay.
$5 or something like that, so it shouldn't be a super expensive thing. It's just a.
How cool.
You see it?
They
Yeah.
got such cool products these
Okay,
days.
seriously. Anytime I have like a thought of like, oh, I wish they had this, I'm like, I bet they do, and I'll slip out.
Yeah.
They almost always do.
I'm like, ah, it's
Yep.
amazing.
So anyway, that's my like hill I will die on is cocoa powder. And every time I tell people, they're
Okay.
like, "What?" I'm like,
Yeah, I've never
"Seriously,
heard of
it's the
that.
best secret nobody talks about. It's
Yeah,
amazing."
that is so cool.
Yeah.
I love not having a topic, by the way. I'm always stressed, like, okay, we gotta get back on topic because I'm gonna have to edit this later. And now I'm like, I can just talk about
I can
whatever I
talk
want.
about hair. This is great. I'm actually really excited because I was at the point where my hair's falling out so bad that I was like, I guess I'm gonna like look into extensions or something because
Yeah.
I love the look of like long mermaid hair. It seriously makes everything prettier, and
It
I
does, yeah.
cannot get mine to grow. And I'm like, I know I have just oily, dry hair, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I just cannot get it. I got a special brush. I brushed from the bottom because I remember you telling me that, and it's like I have hair just fall out in chunks. Like it is, yeah. So anyway, I'm excited to try and take care of
try it out. It's fun. It's fun. I love it. I hate it when people say journey. It reminds me of like Pamela or something, but it is like a hair care journey, and it's like
You're
it's
like,
fun.
sorry, not a journey. You're sitting in your hair. Like,
I know everything's a journey. Like on my
oh my
eyelash
gosh,
journey,
right.
on my hair journey.
And now I can attest.
I think like since now that we're more sedentary people, we're constantly talking about journeys and
right. We wish we went on
even though we sit down. We Google stuff. We're like, this journey. It's just been so grueling.
Of hair care. Yeah, it's so true. That's so true. You braid yours every night too, right? Because I remember you telling me.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, see, that's how I knew I was going to forget something. But yeah, I brush it every night and I put it in a braid so that, well, especially when it's extra long, it's just really annoying to sleep with. Like it gets under your armpits and it gets like all over the place.
I can feel mine breaking at night. That's why I started getting those and braiding it.
Yes. So I braid it every single night, and then it just keeps it from getting all tangled. Like honestly, the most you can do to keep it from getting really tangled is the better, because when it's tangled and you brush it and that snag sound, that's your hair breaking. So every time it snags like that, it's breaking. And so it's like, yeah, if you know you're going to be out on a windy day, try and braid it. You can't be perfect and all the things, but if it's just like anything you can do, you can avoid like this. So like when you get the towel out of the shower and you do this, don't do that because it's going to tangle it all up. So I just like kind of scrunch my hair with the towel. I don't get the microfiber towels and stuff, which I think are really good for your hair or whatever, but I just get a regular towel and I'm just careful with it. Yeah. I actually do wrap it up. I just wrap it loosely. So anyway, so yeah.
So basically, you just started babying it and it responded, you know?
Yeah, like I said, like I treat it like a really expensive shirt and it's like fun.
That is really...
Which is funny because I've never really owned a really expensive shirt, so I don't know. Right there, Ellie.
I have no idea how to treat expensive clothes, but if I did, I bet it would be
if I were fancy, this is what I would do.
This is what I would do. That's so funny. No, it's true. I love it.
So I was going to share... Sorry. I just wanted to share my face wash recipe like super quick. Can I share it? I just pulled it up. Anyway, because I love it and I know like nobody cares, but it's just like,
I'm sure someone does.
I would put this disclaimer is like my face or my skin is pretty naturally good. Like I don't have huge issues. Like I said, I had like texture and stuff. So that's why I was looking into my own homemade recipe. And this works so well. My face is so smooth. It's just the moisture I need and like, oh, I love it. Anyway. So it's 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of Castile soap, which you can get on Amazon, 5 tablespoons of jojoba oil. I don't know if that's how you say that, but
that's fun.
Anyway, yeah, jojoba. That's how you say it. 15 drops of lavender, 10 drops of frankincense, and 15 drops of rosemary. And those are like, I feel like more an art than a science. You don't have to sit there and be like 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did 16. It's ruined. You know, like it's fine. Anyway.
You're like and then you have to with your bruise.
Yeah. So then you have to get one of those pumps on Amazon, the foam hand washing pumps, because it's mostly water. So you're gonna like shake it up and it'll be really foamy. So it comes out foam, like it's like a white foam, and then you put it on your face. It makes your face tingle, and it's like it smells good. Oh, I love it. It feels expensive. It really does. Like I love it.
Would it work for I have really oily skin. Is it more catered to dry skin?
I don't know a ton of research on it. The girl I found said she had lifelong acne and this cured it. So I was like, that's cool. So I just wanted to try it. Her skin was flawless, and I was like, that is really cool. She probably
text me that, will you?
Yeah, I will. Okay. So I could put it in the description too below if I'm not lame later.
If I feel like it, if we actually
it's not like I'm like, should I or shouldn't I? Half the time I forget and I'm like, I was gonna link something. I know I was.
I hate making promises I can't keep. I'll link that below.
I'll maybe link that below.
Find it yourself.
Anyway, all that stuff you can get on Amazon. I will say the frankincense was the most expensive. But like it's 10 drops, so like I said, it lasts forever.
Okay, so once you gather everything, it's gonna be worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I just love that like I have the ingredients for so long. It lasts me forever. I hate buying products over and over again,
I
like
do
every
too.
couple months. It drives me crazy.
Well, and like right now, I'm really curious to try yours because right now I am washing my face with like a special, like it's like a stripping, not stripping, but it's meant for oily skin. It's supposed to be like keep your natural barrier, but get rid of the
Uh-huh.
dirt and oil because I have big
Uh-huh.
pores. And then I use salicylic acid. There's like another one, glycerin. I don't even know what it is. Something
Yeah.
else. And then retinol and then a moisturizer. I'm like, it's insane, my skincare
Yeah.
routine. I just started
Yes.
it. It is effective. Like my skin is looking a lot better. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I just feel like I'm like, there was a time when people didn't have all these
Yes.
ingredients and they had better skin. So
Yes.
what is out there? And I bet
Yeah.
you
That's what I
it's
was saying about like overshooting. Like I feel like
yeah.
sometimes we do so many products that you kind of like go backwards and
Well,
just like
and I will say, this is better for me than just soap and moisturizer. That was
yeah.
not working for me, so
Mm-hmm.
I just need more care on mine. But
You
I'm
try it.
really
Yeah.
wanting to try that and see
Yeah.
if it's not better.
I wish you were close because then I would just like give you mine and let you try it, like the
Right
whole bottle,
before I buy
because
everything.
before you buy all the ingredients, so that kind of sucks. But
Well, I'll see
I guess
you
I'm coming
for
for Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
I can bring
Maybe
you
I
some. You want me
will.
to?
Yeah,
I will bring you some.
that would
Okay.
be really nice. I'll try
Yeah.
it out.
I
Okay.
was thinking like that would be actually really. I try and like hold back my hippie ways, but I was like, I would love it if someone gave me a homemade face wash for like
Well,
Christmas.
no,
But
that'd
I'm like,
be
I don't know if people will be like, this is
no,
weird. I don't
Mal,
want
that would be
this.
so cool. I
So
think what's annoying when people push their stuff is one, if they don't work, they're like,
yeah,
look at this, and they don't have great
yeah,
hair and they don't have great skin.
yeah,
Like, why would I do that? Yeah. And then the other is if they like I feel like sometimes not just hippies, I think people in general want everyone to be excited about what they're excited about.
yeah.
But I do feel like it's kind of a hippie thing to be like, I'm sick, and they'll just come and like dump essential oil on you. Like
Let me
geez,
baptize you.
like consent is key, you know? Like you're like you should, you should at least ask. That's an exaggeration, but I'm just saying like they do seem very eager to like teach people
Yeah.
that
I
they
don't know
don't
if
need
that
all the
comes
products.
from like the pyramid scheme essential oil
No.
business
No.
or if it comes from like this it's almost religion like. I don't
Mm,
know. I don't know what but yeah,
well, and
it seems
part of
very
it
aggressive at times.
it can be aggressive. In their defense, I do think that many of them, kind of like you, have discovered almost the secret. Like, oh my gosh, it's
Yes.
cheaper, it lasts longer, it's more natural,
It's
it's
better for your
giving me
skin.
amazing
Yeah.
results. I
Yeah.
have to tell the world, you know?
Yeah.
And so I do think there's some of that, but it is like, yeah, I've just I've heard stories and had my own experiences of people just like almost assaulting you with their like natural remedies. And you're like,
Yep.
holy moly, like
Like, all right, thank you.
let us ask and then get consent and then assault people with the
Yeah.
essential oils.
My I'm gonna offend everybody. Should I say it?
Do it. Offend them.
Okay. Offend the
We
masses.
probably have 1 million essential oils followers, so
Okay,
if you
here's
like
my
essential oils, you're fine as long as you don't attack
yeah.
people with them.
Yeah, don't pour your essential oils on my head and we're gonna
Nope,
be good.
nope. Don't bless me with them. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, anyway, but yeah, my personal opinion, and this is just honest, is like if they weren't so overly promising of things that it cures, I would be way more on board with essential
Yes.
oils. So I've seen the books, I've seen the promises, and they're like, if you have cancer, rub it on your elbow. If you have a broken leg, rub it on your nose. And you're like, what in the who is writing this? Like it doesn't even make like logistical
No.
sense. So I'm like, what is going on? And then the like cult like following of like
Yeah.
this is a religion, you must follow
Yes.
it. That's where I'm like, all
That's
right,
where
I'm
the
out.
problems with it are.
But
I agree.
where I like it is I think these remedies and things have been around for centuries, and it's cool to tap into that and instead of just being like modern medicine cures everything because it
Yeah.
doesn't. So I'm like I like looking back at old remedies and figuring out how people did stuff, and I do
Me
think
too.
there are healing qualities and all the things.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's like a all-in-one lifesaver. I'm like just
No.
dump these on everything and you'll be cured. And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I like the way they smell. I like that they last a long time, and I like
Yeah.
that there's like possible health benefits. That's about as far as my love of essential oils goes. So
Well, and
anyway.
I think like, you know, people have discovered, oh my gosh, you can use, I don't know, peppermint for your cold instead of like cold
Yeah.
medicine in your body.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
way better for you.
Love
Totally.
that. Yeah.
That's amazing. There are probably a ton of things like that, and I love that. And I think
Mhm.
they've discovered that, and then they're like, what are the other possibilities? We can cure all the diseases. Now,
Yeah.
I think this is where it bothers me. So I do think that over time, if you're using more natural ingredients, you're eating better, you're using essential oils
Yes.
for your daily medications, all of those things. Maybe you're taking a drop of rosemary in your tea every day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how that you could argue to me that might cure your cancer or prevent your cancer. When
Right.
someone already has
It's a
cancer,
lifestyle.
and
Yeah.
yes, and then they're like, I put essential oil on my feet every day and my cancer's gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, are
Yeah.
you serious?
And I also diet and exercise every day, but that's just a
Oh my,
side
hey,
thing.
I legitimately saw a post on Facebook, like I
Oh
should
my
pull it up for proof,
God.
where somebody said their diabetes was cured by essential oils along with diet and exercise. Along with diet and exercise. I'm like,
Okay, I have heard the weirdest
you know what
things
you
about
sound like right
diabetes.
now?
I'm like, what is going on? Like, I heard somebody say, if I eat, I'm just gonna be vague, so I don't. Anyway, if I, eat, I'll just make something up. If I eat an apple, we'll just say whatever food every day, and also I diet and exercise, my diabetes went away, and they said the apple fixed it, and I was like, what? Your diabetes? What in the world? How can you think that one type of food that you eat every day just cures everything? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and it's not
Anyway.
just like essential, like we're beating up essential oils people. I actually do like them for certain things, but I think we're clear on what annoys us about it.
Yeah.
But what's annoying is it's almost like it ruins my hope for America in general when I read stuff. It's not just, wow, you guys are, really fixated on this. It's like, if you are coming to this conclusion, I'm worried about how you're functioning as an adult. And raising children. This is making me a little concerned.
Are you producing offspring?
Yes. How many children do you have? Have you reproduced? I get everyone has their thing, and I have like hippie friends, and I have we have hippie relatives. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do your thing. Just understand how you sound to people who want some proof. Like, if we're going purely off testimonials, you're not going to convince me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I need some scientific proof.
Here's the thing, and I don't know if I even want to go down this rabbit hole because I'm going to offend people.
We're already offending a lot of people.
All right. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. Be honest. Here's the thing. I see a correlation. Correlation is not causation, but I see a correlation between homeschool moms and like
that's
strange practices.
How dare you? I am a homeschool mom. I'm just kidding.
Me too.
I think that's not a secret. Like, there's like tons of jokes about that, right? Like, if you start homeschooling, you're gonna like start using essential oils next year, and you're gonna
so like I've been off social media for a while, and then I've been back on with Natty. Oh, by the way, we have an Instagram you guys can follow. This is not for this podcast, it's for homeschool. So me and Natalie and my older sister Nicole, who's like a ninja. She owns a co-op and she's crazy.
She's just like us on steroids times.
She's like us, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Anyway.
She's out of this world.
She's amazing. She's amazing. Anyway, but we're all three on this Instagram and we share our homeschool life, and so you guys can go follow. It's called Three School Sisters. But anyway, point is, I've been on there more because that's because of that page, and I've been like looking at people that follow us, and I'm like, they post things like just I don't know, like it's fact.
Yeah,
I just don't know where they're getting it, and that's where I get frustrated because I'm like, it's not that we shouldn't question vaccines and we shouldn't question modern medicine, and I'm like, that is like very real. It's just the way that it's like, my son was not vaccinated and he's healthy. Yeah, and I'm like, that's it. That's all you got. Yeah, like I'm like that. Anyway, I just need more. I need more science. Same. Give me more.
Same. Or my son or my child has autism. It definitely is. Yes. And
he was vaccinated. So duh. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not discounting the fact that there could be a grain of truth in that, right? Like, it's possible. But there are a lot of children who are vaccinated who are not autistic. A lot. Right. So
okay, can I tell you about that?
If we're going to just go numbers to numbers, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so my brother-in-law is a, what is the correct term? He's a psychiatric nurse practitioner, but he kind of leans more holistic, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you would like that word.
He just doesn't functional,
like he wants to functional medicine. Yeah. He's not trying to. He's trying to fix the culture of America of like, you have a problem, here's a pill. So he tries to give people supplements. He teaches them how to exercise and how to eat healthy. I love what he's doing. Let me look at his Facebook so I can tell you, because he just started a business. He's in Wyoming, and so I'm like, if you are that way, go visit him. He will heal all of your problems. He's so cool. I just think he's so cool.
He is really cool. He needs to have an online consulting business too, because then he can reach beyond Wyoming, you know?
Yeah. I can't remember what his business is called.
He knows his stuff for sure.
He knows his stuff. He's so passionate about it. Anyway, he's constantly texting me stuff because we have the similar interest in.
You're both radicals.
Holistic. Yeah, we're both crazy. I can't find the name of his business. I'm sorry. I'll have to link it below if I can remember. But anyway, he just started it. He's in, where do they live? Wyoming?
Wyoming, yeah.
Evanston. Anyway, he's probably like the only psychiatric nurse practitioner that does holistic stuff in Evanston, so you can probably just find him that way.
His name's Brandon Yaggi, Jaggi.
So anyway, I was texting him about his opinion on vaccines and autism, and I was just like, honestly, I don't know what to believe, because you see these like podcasts on Joe Rogan, or like they'll really dive in deep in these topics, and I'm like, I don't know what to think, because there's just so polar opposite. And he's like, this is my opinion. So he sent me this like long old, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is just about autism and vaccines. So he said, this concern arose from a 1998 study by Dr. Andrew Wakefield, which studied a link between the MMR vaccine and autism. However, the study was found to be fraudulent, retracted, and discredited by multiple scientific bodies. Extensive research, dozens of large, high-quality studies have since confirmed that there is no association between vaccines, including MMR, and autism. Examples include studies published in AMA, the New England Journal of Medicine, and the CDC. Onset of autism symptoms often appear around 12 to 18 months, coinciding with the time many vaccines are given, which is why some parents suspect a link. However, studies confirm that this timing is coincidental, not causal. Anyway, so he just like sent me this whole thing about all of it, but I just was like, okay, so that happens a lot though in our society. Like studies will come out like in the 90s of like, this causes this, and we just go crazy with it. I'm like, do we even know?
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Anyway, and like I said, I think we should question vaccines, especially after COVID. That made me like not trust the system at all. Like I was like, I don't trust anything you guys do. But
and if you feel like vaccines are specifically affecting your child, for sure, like that decision, I do think I agree with you. It's weird when they post it as fact and a scare. Like everything is fear based. I'm like, those are two things that make me very suspicious immediately, no matter what side it comes from, even if it's from a doctor who's like, get vaccines or your child's gonna die. Either way,
you'd be like, okay,
I don't like this approach. You know, you're trying to scare me into it, which makes me think you probably don't have a lot of science to back your theories up. And there are people who feel very strongly this is true, and you know what, they might be. I just am someone who needs a lot more science before I'm going to jump on a full belief train. I could jump on a suspicious train with you. I'm not going to jump in full feet to I believe everything about this. The testimonials of social media moms is not going to convince me over scientific study. Never will.
I was getting kind of like bugged. I was listening to Joe Rogan, and they kind of like discredit like crunchy moms, I guess. Like they're just like, oh, she's like a soccer mom, so what does she know? And I get like irritated by that. I'm like, just because she's a mom doesn't mean like she doesn't know anything. Like that's kind of ridiculous. But having been on Instagram again, I was like, okay, I see why they're just because if you get on there and you're just like, this is fact because my kid testimonial, I'm like, you're not making a good name for us. Like, stop it.
For us stay-at-home moms. Joe Rogan is notoriously outspoken and offensive, and I mean, the funny thing is he himself is pretty kooky. I mean, he legitimately thinks we didn't land on the moon. He's a goofball.
He is. So he's way like OCD about all the hippie stuff. Like he like has a red light bed and like all the crazy stuff.
Which is fine. Like I really respect him and think he's cool. But I do think that sometimes I don't know if this is true of him. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. That's what I was thinking was offensive to many people, and actually I can't back it up. So never mind. But he does seem easily swayed by conspiracy theorists,
emotional arguments.
There you go. But and I understand that, because anytime a conspiracy theory is thrown up there, I'm like, oh yeah, let's dive into this, question everything. I love that. But Yeah, I have a hard time respecting his opinions when it comes to big conspiracies because he's
Right.
really willing to jump on those trains. Not just
Well,
questioning, but like
and
he's
it's not that they're not based on anything. Like if you listen to them, I'm like they go down this all kinds of deep dives into why these pharmaceutical companies and everything are corrupt, and you're like, yeah, it is
yeah,
a
I
sick
believe it.
system.
Yeah.
And I totally believe it. And I think that's what my brother-in-law is doing. He's like I just want to study this because there's way too many questions, like I don't know what's going on. And that's what I like. I'm like, yes, let's like get a degree and study stuff instead of
Yes.
like this is fact, because I'm like we don't know
Yeah.
anything.
We don't know anything.
Anyway.
And I think it's fair to say that they are monetarily motivated, these pharmaceutical companies. So there's definitely questions that should be asked. And when you go to the hospital and they're like, your kid needs, 27 vaccines, I
Yeah.
can see being like, no, we'll take this one and this one and this one, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just not vaccinating them at all, that one kind of blows my mind, because I'm like, you do realize that like diseases that wiped out tons of people have been cured through vaccines,
Like populations. Yeah.
population.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused about the theory on that. Maybe they think it won't come back now that it's been wiped out. I'm not sure. Like, that to me is just a straight miracle. It's amazing. And to discount that as, evil, that's hard for me. That's a hard
Well,
one.
yeah. And you just look at the stats. I'm like, this is where the disease rate and the death rate was at prior to vaccines,
Yes.
and this is where it's at now. It's like almost nothing.
Yes.
And so I'm like, yeah, it solved the problem. And maybe we don't need them anymore. I don't know. But I'm like, personally, I'm willing to take the risk of getting a vaccine to anyway.
Well, there's good evidence in front of us that it's okay,
Yeah.
even though I'm like, and not that my mom was perfect, but she was really good at not making a mountain out of a molehill. That was like her superpower.
Yes.
Yeah. No, nothing
should be put on her gravestone.
Okay. Right.
We should put it on a molehill. Just kidding.
Okay. I actually really.
That's like, come on, that was a good joke.
That was funny. So no, I was just thinking of like a little molehill by her.
That's where we will bury her.
Oh my gosh.
She's alive still. Hi, Mom.
Right? Our only listener, don't be offended. We're honoring you with this molehill. I actually do. That's one of the things I admire about moms so much. And people are afraid to say it because they're like, moms are warriors. I'm like, they are, but they can still mess up, We all do. But
I like when people are like, teachers are saints. I'm like, that's a very general statement.
Yeah, that's very generous for all teachers everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, many of them are, not all of them.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Anyway.
Moral of the story: if you've listened this far, not been offended enough to shut it off, you're fine. You're doing fine. I just think, like, if you're at a point where you're consistently talking about a problem with your kids, like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep,
Yes.
go find some answers. Like, stop complaining and figure it out.
Like your brain is telling you to solve the problem. I feel like, because for me, like when I started homeschooling, I was like, my main problem was I was like, I am just fighting with my kids all the time, all the time. And I complained to anyone who listened. I called you all the time. I told my husband all the time, like anyone. I was just like, this is so hard, and my kids are so hard, and I can't do it anyway. And and I think that was my brain being like, this is a problem you need to face. Like,
fix it.
Let's see what's going on. And I have faced a lot of things, and I've kind of at a point where I have been consistently loving homeschool.
That's cool.
Probably the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, okay, like I feel hopeful that this can be good. Like I'm like, oh, there's so much, and I'm starting to get see them learning, and like it's so rewarding. It's so fun. It just gives you like the jitters. Like I stay up like researching stuff, and I'll tell Chancey like where they're at, and anyway, it's almost like I've become a teacher, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I really love this. Fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And there's nothing more rewarding than teaching your own kids, because I wouldn't feel that same satisfaction teaching other kids, because I'm not that kind of person. Like, my heart isn't that generous. I'm like, I don't care about other people's. I
love the freedom of it so much. Like, I love it. It fits my personality just perfectly.
Yeah.
like the last night, Chancey doesn't have to work every other Friday, and if they're in school, the girls would have to still go to school on Fridays. Yep. But last night we stayed up late. We did a bonfire, and we just all hung out because we wanted to, fun. And they can go hunting with him when he comes home, on Thursday nights, and anyway, I don't know. I just really like it. Like, I was like, the other day, I was like, hey, go think of somewhere like super silly to read your book today. I was like, go climb a tree or something. Go read in the chicken coop. And they're like, okay. And like, anyway, everything's just, I just love it.
So
anyway.
it's adventurous. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Homeschooling has strengthened our family bonds for sure.
Yes. Yeah. You feel stronger as a family.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been
Yep.
interesting. I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh, like
No,
we're
I
like
didn't
close
either.
knit now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the kids
Anyway.
really are each other's best friends. And they, like, we are really vigilant about their social life. That was one thing I was just like, we will not let that go. And they
You
still,
have
like,
to be.
they're with each other. They're in the trenches together. They're just best friends. So they fight still. But, like, they're going to have some really, really good memories together.
Yep, that's how my girls are. They're very, very close.
Yeah, and they'll probably have trauma too, and not homeschool their kids and all that. But, but I'm like,
I don't know.
I am really grateful that they're gonna have good friendships together because of it.
Yeah, yeah. There's like this program that I'm using. I've been kind of shy promoting it because it's online and like I don't know. I feel like moms are like, don't give your kids screens. And anyway,
obviously not hours. Yeah.
But it's called Power Homeschool, and like that's where they do their math and language arts. And like I don't know, I just love it. It fits my lifestyle right now because I have a baby and a toddler, and it's just really hard for me to sit down and do everything with them. And so it's not just that, but like it tracks everything. It tells you exactly where they're at, like how slow they're going, how many times they had to retake something. Really cool. And like I've kind of found their different learning styles with it. So like Brinley, my second, she'll fly through stuff as fast as she can, and then like they'll let her retake the test one time, and she always retakes it. She's like, yeah, I'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Charlie is like opposite. She'll go super, super slow and like never go back. She'll get like a 95 and she's like, yeah, it's good enough. I'm good. Yeah. Anyway, and it's just like, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun to watch them. And then like Charlie's like, she's not behind in math. She's being a lot slower than she is in language arts. And so at first I was like, we got to hurry. We got to keep up with math. And I'm like, why? Like she's working, she's doing good. And there's no rush and she's figuring it out. She's not just like hanging out doing nothing, you know? So that's the other thing I love is like they can go at their own pace. And anyway, sorry. I don't know why I went off on that.
No, it's incredible. We were just talking with someone the other day. I can't remember, but their kids are in the school system, and they were like, it's not until middle school that you see all of the holes in their educational foundation. Like, it's not until then that you realize, well, like, I kind of know math, but like, I forgot all of this. Or like, which that happens, you know, it happens to anybody, even homeschool. But what's nice about homeschool is like Charlie, she's going to take her time building this really thick foundation for math so that like, it's going to be hard to forget. It's going to, you know, translate later when things start getting more complicated. She can build on it. So I'm like, to me, it's not a speed thing. It's like, are you learning and are you building that foundation really strong? Then I don't care where you're at. We're just going to keep building, because by the time they hit middle school and high school, that's when your kids will go, I think.
Yeah.
Because they'll have something to actually stand on. But and that's not saying if you're in public school, you don't, because there are plenty of kids who will be smarter than mine always. But you do see a lot of kids fall in the cracks. And I think some of my kids, based on their personalities, would have been those kids who just like weren't keeping up.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing, and I know we've touched on this in previous podcasts, but not in our like new branded podcast. So
we are.
We're so different. Anyway, but so I was watching this short on Instagram of like this homeschool mom that was getting all angry about how we tell our kids that they have to go to school to get socialized, otherwise they're weird. And I was like, okay, like I get what she's saying. But however, here's the thing. There would not be a stigma if it weren't at least a little bit true. Like, I'm like, can we just admit, come on, homeschool moms, let's bring it in. Our kids are a little weird. Weird hug, bring it in. Anyway, I'm like, it's okay. I just can't stand this. Like, my kids aren't weird. I'm like, a little bit.
Your reaction is making me feel like you kind of are. So it is what I've gathered is that it's just a serious fear of homeschool moms, because it's something that you really aren't sure how to solve, especially if you yourself aren't social. Like, if you're like, I don't want to go out and gather all your friends. I don't want any kids over here. I don't, then I could see how that would seriously be a plaguing fear. Like, I have some fears of homeschool. They're not
It's my number one fear of homeschool. That's my number one. Because everything else I love. That's
one
my
of your
biggest weakness. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's one of your perceived weaknesses. Like you think
Yeah.
it's your weakness, so it's your big fear. One of my big weaknesses is like structure and organization. And so if we
Mhm.
ever have a day where we're like off or whatever, I just like I can't sleep at night. Like I freak
Mm.
out. I'm like, oh
Mm.
my gosh, it's because of my personality
Oh,
that they're gonna be stupid and like,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just like really plagues me. So I'm like, I think
Interesting.
it's so when moms get freaked out by that, they're probably actually telling themselves, like, you're not social and this is going to hurt them, but then they have to fight. They hit it with, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think like you
It's a
can't ever
fear.
solve a problem unless you admit that it's a
I
problem.
know.
So for me, I'm like homeschool, if I just stay home and I don't go anywhere, I'm going to get weird. I
Yeah.
just am. Like that's just how it is.
Yes. You get
But
rusty and you can pick up on
yeah,
it again.
it's just a skill. Yeah, it's just a skill. And you pick it up really quick. I was real rusty. I didn't have any friends until we moved here and I was like slowly going to mom group and I would say really weird stuff and my armpits would sweat and like all the things. But now I'm like I can go there and have friends and I'm not like a social genius. I still say weird
No,
things, but I'm not like as bad as I was. And so I'm like I think you pick up on it pretty quick and I think
you do. It's like you're like a
it
learning
takes
robot. That
repetition.
didn't work that time.
We're like
Now
AI, but better.
yay, there's oh my gosh, we could go off on that. I was just thinking the other day, I was talking to Siri. I was like, hey Siri, text Corey, can you pick up some bananas? And it was like, hey, you're Hannah bandana or something. Like
Hannah
it just
Montana.
yeah, it just like did nothing even close to what I said. And I was talking clearly. And I was like, everyone thinks AI is going to take over the world, and this is where we're at right
You're
now. Like, I'm
like,
not
we're
worried about
good.
it. I can't even get Siri
We're
to talk text
good.
for me. Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
no.
sorry. Take it
Yeah,
away.
they got to improve their technology.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my point is just that like I don't think that homeschool solves the social problem. I really
No.
don't. I think that you have to almost treat it like an extra
Yep.
curriculum that you're
Yep.
involving for your kids or they will struggle socially. Like it's a fact and I'm like it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to have that. Like we can all be okay with it, you
Yep.
know. There are worse
Be
things in this
proactive.
world.
Problem solve.
Yeah, and like I said, like social is my biggest thing that I'm worried about. So I'm constantly like, how can I involve my kids?
Yep.
Where can I go to?
Yep.
Anyway, so
And you're doing it because you care about it. You're solving it. It's not
yeah,
rocket
and
science.
I have seen from what I've seen out here, there's a lot of homeschoolers out here. It's just like really popular. And of these like really classy families that I just really
Right.
look up to.
Right.
One of the themes I've seen is when their kids function well socially is they are involved somewhat in their school when they hit the age of middle school. So they're like they kind of put them in extras and
And whatever they can.
sports, whatever they can do to get them involved because those ages are really critical for social development. I believe like once you start to hit teenager years, I think it's really critical that they get involved and make friends.
Yes.
So
Interact
that's
with their
just
peers.
that's just a theme that I've seen, and I really admire those kids. They just are solid, and
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do. And so, anyway, I don't know anything. That's just what I'm gonna
Yeah,
want
that's
to try and do.
observation. And we
Yeah.
all have different priorities. There are people I know who straight up are like, I do not care if my kid is the weirdest kid out there.
Mhm.
Like if
Mhm.
they're smart, they're happy, they're well
Yeah.
adjusted. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
matters to me if they come across as weird to their peers. At least if they're if they're doing the right thing and their peers are like, you're a loser because you're not, I don't know, doing
Yeah.
bad things. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But it like I'm very particular about how my kids dress. I'm particular
Yeah.
about how they present. They have to do their hair every day. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want you to have social like points against you when you go out and because immediately we
Yeah.
analyze people based on how they present and so
Right.
and then their body language and the words they use and all of that does add up to like are you someone I want to interact with or not and we
Yes.
pretend it's not a thing but it's totally a thing
It
so
is. Yeah. And
so
I
it's
don't want my kids to graduate and be terrified of the world. I'm like, it is
exactly
rough out there. It's very rough. And if all you see is like Jesus curriculum and like a few
yes
friends at church, you're
yes
just going to be shocked. You are.
yes
And maybe that's not the worst thing. They're like, well, it's fine. They'll be shocked. But I'm like, it's not just like one shock. It's like, it's going to take them several years to be like, okay, like I'm not going to die. This guy
yeah
has like a million nose rings and tattoos, but we're all going to live, you know?
I mean, the world was
Anyway,
shocking to me when I went to
yeah.
college. We were sheltered
And we
and
weren't homeschooled.
we weren't homeschooled. So, but we lived in a very tight culture. Everyone was pretty
Mm-hmm.
similar and, small
Mm-hmm.
towns, all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. It was like shocking. And then I got over it. And
Right.
not only that, but mom and dad we're really good about teaching us, like, even if someone looks different or acts different or has different values than you treat them like a human, treat them good.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that carries you through a lot of situations. Like,
Yes.
just treating people kindly carries you through a lot. So,
Yes. Yes. My
yeah.
kids are constantly like seeing how I react to stuff too. Like they're like,
Yeah.
if they see anybody who has different values than us at all, they're constantly like, Mom, look how they're doing this and this and this. And I'm like, none of your business. It's fine.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Anyway, and I'm like, yeah, it's not what we do, but it's none of your business. I constantly tell them, I'm like, does that affect you? No. Okay, leave them alone.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
even if it's
Absolutely.
like I feel like in our LDS culture, there's a lot of like, they're not modest. Oh, so sad. So sad. They're so sinful. And I'm
I
like,
will pray for her soul.
I can't stand it. I'm like, it's not just LDS, it's Christian in general, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, let's stop this. Let's stop. And so like, if my girls ever bring it up, I'm like, none of your business. She can dress how she wants. It's none of
I
your
know.
business.
I know. I'll
Anyway,
even go so far as to tell my kids, like, I don't know if this is right since it's not really aligning with my values, but I'll be like, right? Doesn't she look so pretty? Like, that's a pretty dress on her. That's not something we would probably wear, but she's rocking it, you
yeah,
know? Because I'm like,
that's a
you
yeah.
can
My kids are
accept the
always trying to
beauty in it.
find the line. Like they're like, Taylor Swift wore this. Do you think she looked pretty, Mom? I'm like, yeah, I do. I think
Yeah,
she's
she
very
looks
pretty.
stunning. Yeah.
They're like, would you wear that? I'm like, no, probably not, but I think
Right.
she's very pretty. And like,
Right.
anyway, so they're like, okay, like they're just trying to figure out because it's
Right.
very like they go to like church class and some of their teachers are like, it's black and white, and I'm like, okay. Anyway,
Well, I
trying
can,
to
and like
unwind that.
arguments can be made for the value of dressing modestly, how that could like benefit you in life, you know?
Oh, for sure. I love modesty. I'm definitely going to teach my girls to dress modest. I
Yes.
just don't
But
think that
also
looking out
not
at the world and comparing how you dress to them benefits anybody. It makes everybody stressed. It makes
yes.
you constantly comparing. And I'm like,
Yes.
and it makes you really judgmental and not fun to be around. Like, stop.
Well, you know, the problem with that too is like, let's say you know, everyone you come across, oh my gosh, did you see her outfit? You know, like as the
Mm-hmm.
mom, you're modeling that.
Mm-hmm.
Someday, if your child ever does rebel and decide, or
Yes.
just like decides that this isn't my value, I am going to dress differently than you
Mm-hmm.
taught me, they're going to have that voice in their head 100%. Mom does not
Yep.
value me the same way or love me the same way because I'm
Mm-hmm.
choosing to dress like this. And that can
Yes.
mess with your child. So you're
Yeah.
judging other people, the karma will come back to bite you hard
Mm-hmm.
in some way or another. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
I feel
believe
the
in
same.
karma, but I believe in karma kind of. Like it always comes back. Like the things you put out come back,
Yeah.
you know?
Seems to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about, I mean, honestly, anything like drinking, homosexual, like maybe I don't teach that in my house, but
Sure.
I'm like, if I see it out in the world, I'm gonna love them the same. Like I'm like, and I want you to do the same. Don't sit there and be like, oh, like they're doing this. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't matter, but it's none of your business.
I think what that
Anyway.
looks like too in action is not fixating on your differences and just finding your similarities.
Yeah,
Just the same
exactly.
that you would with anyone you want to socialize
Exactly.
with. What can I learn from this person? And yeah, like what do we have in
Exactly.
common and whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I wonder if I'm teaching my kids kindness and stuff. You know what I mean? But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
they're watching you. So if you're kind, they will be. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not, they won't. The nicest kids I know have golden parents. Like
Yeah,
the ones who are very
they're
genuinely
just very
sweet.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that's true. I think it can go the other way too. There's kind of a subculture that's being created in like Utah of like we're not like other
yeah.
Mormon moms.
Yes.
We're
We're
different. We're
rebellious.
edgy.
We
And I'm
do
like,
cool things.
okay. And like again, I don't care what you do, but
No.
don't care what I do. That's when I get annoyed. I'm like, okay, like if I'm like it's almost like middle school again. They're like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna wear that immodest swimsuit. Why not? Why not just like live a little? And I'm like, why do you care what I wear? Like I don't like it. I'm like, you live your life, I'll live mine, and we'll be fine. Like it's all gonna
Yeah,
be good.
that's how I feel too. I think in not participating with them, they feel judged by us because
Yeah,
I've experienced that basically my whole life, and you have too. Like if you're
yeah.
just like, "Nah, I'm good," they're like, "Well, what the heck?"
Judging.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
get really upset. Some people do, and others are cool about it. But the
yeah.
ones who get really upset, I have noticed that they are the most insecure about their decisions. They're the ones who
Mhm.
aren't sure if they're making the right choice or not, and the
Mhm.
ones who don't care at all are probably the most wild. They're my favorite ones because they're just real. They don't
Yes.
care what I'm doing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. We can
So
have this relationship.
absolutely, I'm like
Yeah.
I will gravitate to the more crazy ones if they will allow me to be me. I don't
Exactly.
like
They don't. Yeah.
people watching me and telling me what to do either. So
Yeah, nobody likes it on either side. So
no,
anyway,
but it does happen in the reverse quite a bit in our experience. If you're a more modest dresser and you're just more conservative in your, language and your like all that stuff, you get targeted for sure. Like
yeah,
I've
you
definitely been
stand
the
out.
target of,
So it's
yeah, not just
yeah,
standing out, but it's like it's threatening. It's like what are you thinking if you're not doing that? Obviously
yeah,
you're judging me, and I'm
yeah,
like I really wasn't until you said
yeah,
that. Now I'm annoyed with you, but
yeah.
yeah.
Now I am. Stop it.
Yeah. Anyway, that is an interesting thing that we've both experienced. I'm like, just
Yeah,
back off. Please leave me alone. I'll leave you alone.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I can only talk for 2 hours today.
Okay. All right. Where are
But
we
I
at?
wanted to, well, it's 8:30, but we started later. But let's just go to
Two
no
hours.
later than 2 hours, and then.
That's
But
perfect.
I wanted to retract my. There are no good Disney live actions except for Cinderella because
Yeah.
I just watched Aladdin with the girls, and I was like,
Ugh,
okay, this was
right.
like
I didn't like
medium good. No, let me tell you why it was bad. Because I was watching it, and I was like, why did this kind of like fall flat? Because they had all the color, all
Yeah.
the singing, all the dancing. Like they really tried with the what do you call
Yes.
that? Thematics or what? I don't know what you call that.
I'll tell you what the problems were with it. I remember.
Well, yeah. So the main main problem for me, I thought Jasmine was pretty good. She kind of didn't really need to be anything but pretty and like
Beautiful. Yeah.
and not be annoying, and I felt like she did okay.
She was a little distractingly bad, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. She wasn't bad though.
No.
Like she would have been okay if Aladdin was amazing, but Aladdin was
Okay.
awful.
Aladdin was so bad.
Like
He
the
was
minute
so like
he
wholesome
the
and
minute
sweet,
his
but so
first
bad.
line, he was like, "Hey, one step in front of the big guys." Like I'm like, "What are you? Why are you talking out of the side of your mouth? Why are you like constant smolder?" Like he drove.
He's
Anyway,
a total Disney Channel star, kind of like that's how
you
he
know what
acts.
he reminded me of? I was like, if he was on like Tuacahn, which is like a live action place
Yes.
in Utah, he would have been perfect. But like for TV, you have to have like micro
Yep.
expressions and like you have to be a good actor. And he just was blah.
Yep. Yeah, he was
Anyway, the
bad.
whole time I was like, I cannot stand
Nope.
this guy.
And he was a little bit too feminine for me to be like a
Yeah,
street rat. Like I was like, he
yeah,
needed to
he's so
be a
clean
little
and like
cooler, a little dirtier.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, just he
They'd like CGI some parkour, and I was like, oh,
Well,
good
he
grief.
seemed like the kid that like stays inside and like does his chemistry lab all day, Like you're just like you're really smart and cool and talented. And you're probably gonna be my boss someday, but I wouldn't marry you.
He had a really pretty face. I think it was acting because I'm like I think
And
if
his
he could have
voice
been
was
a better
really good.
actor. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He would have been a great like live action
Yeah,
play, but man,
yeah.
for the movie, I was like, oh, I cannot stand you. And the
No, he
movie's
was
called
bad.
Aladdin, so I was like, okay, that was their number one flop.
Yep.
Number two was Will Smith was like CGI'd the whole time, so like
Yep.
his movements and stuff didn't match his face. He's an amazing actor. I was
Yep.
like, why is he so cringy? And I was like, oh, because he's blue and he's floating. Because like,
Yep. Yep.
anyway, so I'm like,
They
why
should have
couldn't they give him his torso? It was so weird. I was like, why did they CGI his arms? That was the
because
weirdest
they think
decision.
CGI is so
It
good
looked
and
so
advanced, and it
bad.
looks so bad. I'm like, we can see it.
You can
Stop.
tell
Stop
every
with the
time.
CGI. Oh, I
Anyway,
hate
and
it.
then the other part was so honestly, they did everything right, but the three main characters were awful. Because
Yeah.
like Jafar was
Yes,
so bad.
Jafar
He
was
was like
bad.
he'd be like, I am evil and I'm going to take over the kingdom. Follow me. And then he'd be like, ha 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 ha. And he'd be like, I am evil and you should follow. Like deadpan, and then like no expression that also is like evil.
And then he had like a high cadence too. Do you notice that his voice was high? And I was like, ugh. They have such a
couldn't
hard time
stand
right now in
him.
Hollywood. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, finding masculine men for their roles. I'm like, stop putting in effeminate men.
Okay,
I can't get
the
into the story.
the dad was really
He was
good.
good.
Wasn't he
I
amazing?
loved
He
him.
was like he like stole the show for me. I was
I
like,
know.
he's so cute. He was manly. He was like,
Yep.
I could see you ruling an entire kingdom. Like
I
he looked
know.
tough, and he loved his daughter. And I was like, I love him so much.
Yes.
Anyway,
You know
Jasmine,
what?
okay, that song that she sang, like I won't be silent or whatever. Okay.
So good. I thought it was amazingly
She
powerful.
was amazing in that song, and like she actually produced real tears doing that. Like her veins were popping. She made
Yes.
herself cry. Like they
Yes.
had interviews of it later, and I was like, that she was like, I think she's a very good singer and performer. She wasn't an amazing actress. I didn't feel like,
No, but she was,
but
you know what? She was like J-Lo good. Not distracting if the rest of the show's good.
yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. If Adam, what? If Aladdin
Adam
had
made
been, where did that go wrong? If Aladdin had been amazing, it would have just been like this fusion because she was gorgeous to look at. She sang well. She like her song was so powerful, gave you chills. But
Oh, you know
man,
what
I just
else?
was like, ugh, that movie. It was
They
so
had a,
close. Like I couldn't look away when I was watching it with the girls. I'm like, they had
I
me,
know,
you know, like they
I know,
almost had me.
I know.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Well, and it was genius, I thought, to cast Will Smith because who else could be Robin Williams? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Who could
two
take his
legends.
place?
That
Yeah.
was a good
Yeah.
move. And they kind of
Yeah.
did like the Hitch and Albert Brenneman thing with him in Aladdin, which was hilarious. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
smart, like kind of play
Yeah.
off of that.
Yeah.
But oh crap, what was I gonna say? Um, oh, Jasmine and Aladdin had like negative chemistry too. So that
You're
didn't help.
right. They totally did.
She looked like she could eat him for breakfast and like rule him, like you know, like he was her like obnoxious little brother, not her love interest.
You're so
Yeah,
right.
that was
You're
bad.
right. It, man, they were close in that one. So I was like, I don't want to say they sucked at every
No,
remake because that one was close. I was like,
yeah,
dang, it was
the
some
writing
acting
wasn't great
issues.
in that one though.
No, it
No,
wasn't. It wasn't. They would do
no.
some lines that I was like, really? That's what you're
Yeah,
gonna
it
say
was
that?
okay. It wasn't
Yeah.
again. It was like if the acting had been phenomenal, they could have pulled everything else off. But
Yep. Yeah.
why can't
Anyway,
we just direct Disney movies?
or like anyone else,
No.
like whoever's doing it's not working.
Get the
So
British guy
stop.
back and have him do all of
British
them.
guy back. Yeah.
Obviously, he
Seriously.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cinderella is the best one that they've made. That one had some
Yeah.
cheese in it too, but it was like
It's supposed
appropriately
to
placed
though.
for kids.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. It was
yeah.
cute.
The only
See, that's
thing
the
in that
thing.
one was the CGI mice. I was like, oh, that's gonna haunt my like paralysis nightmare.
I can't stand the CG. I'm like, they did the same thing in the live action Little Mermaid. They made the crab so freaking creepy. I'm like, who is in charge here?
I know, it's so bad. And then yeah, they're so fixated on picking like the right color of person that they don't look for the right actor. I'm like,
Well, I was thinking like it's interesting they didn't race swap anyone in this movie. If they had made Jasmine white,
right?
what would everyone say? Or redheaded?
Oh yeah. Well, they didn't even dare. I don't think that I don't know. I could be wrong about this, but it seemed like they didn't even dare pick someone who didn't have like Arabic background.
I
Like,
know.
they're
I
like,
know.
or else we'll get in trouble. So then like their options become more limited. You know, like now they have
For the
to
love.
be of the right background, look right, sing right, and act
Yeah.
right. I can see why it was
I
different.
would have been mad if they had race swapped Jasmine though. Like I'm like, it's not a racist thing. I
There
would have
you
been mad if
go.
they had done that.
That's
Because
a
she's
really good
supposed
point.
to be Arabic. It's a culture thing. You can't just put someone in who has a different culture. It's weird and it doesn't work. Stop
No,
it.
you're right. That's actually an excellent point. I would be upset if they swapped Tiana or if they swapped Jasmine.
Mulan. Imagine if they swapped Mulan.
Oh
I'm
my
like, you can't
gosh.
do that.
Yeah,
It's
no.
wrong.
This is her identity.
Moana. Yeah. I'm like, no, you can't.
Brave,
Anyway.
right? Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole thing is
The
Nordic
whole thing is this
country.
giant
That's
red
the whole
hair.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Disney.
it was
Bleh.
ridiculous.
On you.
I know.
Yeah.
That's on you, Disney. May it haunt
Yeah.
you forever.
Yes.
It will. That's what sucks about making a movie. That's going nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna have this like
It's true.
this era where they're like, what kind of drugs were they on when they did this? Like, you know,
Like the live action era. Like what was happening?
Gosh. The CGI, the race
They'll just blame it on COVID. They'll be like, yeah, COVID just really tied our hands.
Due to COVID, our brains
Oh my gosh. I forgot to tell you that. Remember when I told you about that kid last episode that was like, stopped me at the store and was trying to like salesman me, whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
He blamed, what did he say? Oh, I asked him if he had a business card. And he's like, unfortunately, we had to stop doing that because of COVID. And I was like,
COVID
that
has
is
been
the dumbest
gone for like
mistake.
2 years.
I kind of wanted to just be like, that was really stupid. COVID's not.
Try again.
But I think the reason they didn't do it was for the very reason I wanted it. Of just like, okay, stop talking to me, give me a card, and I'll just
Due
go.
to
So he's
COVID,
like,
we cannot give you
I'm
an out.
sorry. Well, and I was like, and he shook my hand, and like he was like kept touching me, so I'm like, okay. Oh, that sounded weird, but he would like hit my shoulder or like elbow me, or I don't know, he was weird. Anyway, so I was like, due to COVID,
you don't have a
touch me.
germ problem. Just touched my hand twice.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, that's yeah, the salesman-y thing. I have no heart when it comes to that anymore. I used to care, and I'm like, I'm not interested. Sorry. I just like I turn into
I
a
know.
jerk. I'm like, nope.
I
And
know.
I don't yell at them, but I will not listen. I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
Chansey's always like the biggest sucker in those two. I'm
Corey
like,
too.
no, we're not
Corey's
interested.
gotten
I'll just
better.
grab because he's just like, oh, and I'm like, stop like acting like you're listening. It's why they keep talking. Like,
Yeah.
just like turn your feet away, give all your body language that you don't care anymore.
Yep.
There's lots of tricks you can do.
It's okay to give a very flat refusal to someone who's trying to manipulate you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's socially, that's on them. They started it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is me in self-defense. I'm not gonna attack.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be nice either. Yeah. Okay, I have a really random story to tell you when
Okay,
we're
do
like
it.
run out of things to say.
We've
So
run out of things. Go ahead.
oh okay. So yesterday I will keep her anonymous because she asked that we don't like tell people of like her daughter's name and stuff because she would feel embarrassed by this.
Okay.
But anyway, so like I won't say who. But I have a friend whose daughter sleep talks and sleepwalks. And if I didn't see this for myself with my own eyes, I would have 100% thought this was an exaggerated story. Someone like made, there's always like,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. I am not exaggerating one bit of this. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So she has a video because she went in her daughter's room at night because she's notorious for like sleepwalking and sleep talking. So she's like, I'm gonna catch her. It'd be funny. Her husband's gone. And I will say when I watched the video, it doesn't give you like the evil feeling of like possession and creepy stuff, but like everything about it was still creepy. Just like So she goes in her daughter's room. Her daughter's like 11, 10, and she's sitting. So it's dark in the video, so all you see is black screen, and you hear her little girl go just like that, like just like a horror movie in every way, like a horror movie. And I was like, the freak. And so then in the video, so it's just dark, my friend flips the lights on and her little girl is sitting up in bed, but like crooked, like just like a freaking movie, sitting like this in bed with her eyes like this.
No.
And
her eyes were open.
Yep. And she's asleep. And then well, just get this. And then, so my friend flips the lights on, you see her like this, and then she goes like this. She's still asleep. And she goes, it is the worst thing I've ever seen. Showed like all of our friends, every one of us were like, and like even last night I was telling Corey about it, and both of us were like, anyway, she had to like call her husband and be like, she's not possessed, right? Like
she's possessed.
Oh my gosh. And it, like I said, you could kind of feel like the really creepy things versus the like silly things. It felt silly, but it looked so wrong in every way. I was just like, oh my gosh, like that would have freaked me out.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I just couldn't.
Can you imagine being like married to that and like trying to warn your husband before you get married? You're like, so I kind of sleep talk a little bit, and he'd be like, oh, that's fine. You're so cute and pretty. It's all gonna work out. And then your wedding night, you're like,
what? Okay, speaking of creepy things, I started watching Stranger Things on Netflix.
You did?
I
don't like that show.
Unrecommend it to everybody.
Thank you. Okay, I started it too. I was like, I got to the part where they like started to get into teenage sex, and I was like, okay, gross, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I went past that part.
Yeah.
It was so like, I don't know. That's an excuse. I shouldn't make excuses, but
I didn't really like it anyway, though. If I loved it, I probably would have kept going. But I was like,
teenage sex is so gross to me that they may as well just be like kicking rocks for what it does for me. I'm just like, that's. Ugh.
I know, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It
so
grosses
disgusting.
Me out.
Yeah.
Well, we would always make fun of old people when we were teenagers because they were always like, teenagers. Ugh. And we were like, oh, old people are the worst.
Old people are so annoying. Yeah. Now we're the boomers. We're the old people. I'm like, I don't care. That's the thing too, is like, I do remember mid-20s being kind of offended if I wasn't considered cool by teenagers. Not cool like you're in, but just like when they're like, you're just old, your opinions don't matter. I would be like, yes, they do.
Like,
I'm only a little bit older than you.
I still dress cute and stuff.
Now I'm like, if you accept me, I think there's something wrong with me. I'm like, I'm gonna go like shower.
I know. They're like, I like your outfit. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go change.
I'm definitely gonna never wear this again. Thank you.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. Some of the style is really cute now. Some of it is just okay. You know what though? I would say that the style right now, at least the girls that I see at church, and maybe it's very limited, is a
Yeah,
lot better than it was like when I want to say when like Vanny was a teenager. Do you
yeah.
remember that? It was like so ugly. I was like, what is happening? It was like a mix between like 80s and 90s and crap, like all the worst
And
decades. And they're like, let's throw it in there. I was
let's
like,
just
oh,
throw a
anyway.
bomb in there, see what
Now,
sticks.
now I feel like they're kind of doing like sundresses and like a little more
Yeah.
feminine and like I don't know, it feels cuter to
No,
me.
you're
But
right.
anyway,
There's little bows and like they have definitely leaned more into the feminine. It went from like
yeah,
major boyfriend jean grunge
grunge,
to more
greasy
feminine.
hair, no makeup,
Yes.
ew.
That was such
Oh,
an unfortunate um
that's
trend.
bad.
What sucks is that all the kids who like were trending during that time are gonna look
Yep.
back at their pictures and be like, I was the ugliest kid ever.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
weren't. You just dressed like the ugliest
It
kid
wasn't
ever.
your fault.
It
You
wasn't
just
your
followed the
fault.
styles.
Yeah, product of circumstances.
Well, the thing was like these models who could like literally wake up and look like a model
Yep.
would do their greasy hair and no makeup and like take a good lighting picture and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to do that."
Effortless.
And like you go out in the world and you're like, you just kind of look like you didn't shower. So maybe you should shower.
You kind of look like you don't even have a home. Like you look like a hobo. Yeah, I'm like it's
Oh,
so it was.
that was bad.
I hated that stage, especially Kate. This is what I'm talking about. Misplaced confidence. There's a line in Pride and Prejudice about like pride where there actually is a reason for it. It will always be acceptable. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
there's truth to that because when someone who is like mediocre looking, I will 100% put myself in this category. I can't just wake up, have disgusting hair, not wear
Yeah.
makeup, and wear any outfit I want and feel and look good. Like I
Yeah.
look gross like that.
Yeah.
And most people do. Now, you're right. There's some people who are exceptionally beautiful. They can't look ugly. But it's like when you think that you're pretty enough to do that, that is misplaced confidence. And it frustrates me. I'm like, because then they walk around with a strut. And I'm like, you look horrible. Why are you walking with that much confidence? Like, that is.
It even bothered me when the models did it though, because I was like, this is so ugly. I was like, you are like a 10 and you're
Yeah.
making yourself at least 3 points lower.
Yeah.
Just go
Yeah.
wash
Yeah.
your hair.
Yeah, like literally, I'm like, I'm not saying you have to wear pounds of makeup and like wear tight clothes,
No.
but just
No.
wash and brush your hair. Like that's a great start.
That was such a weird trend. I'm glad it was short lived. That was only
I
like 5 years, I feel like.
Oh
It
yeah,
wasn't very
I'm
long.
in a well because it was so bad. I'm in a sound like a really old person here because this is exactly how old people are. I saw this kid and I can't believe what they were wearing. But seriously, we were at Lagoon and there
I
was a
saw this
girl
kid.
there who was definitely in college, like there with her mom. I don't know
Yeah.
how I knew that. Maybe I'm wrong, but you could just kind of tell she
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
same the age was right and stuff. She was in pajamas, slippers, and nasty hair, riding all the rides. She was very pretty. Her mom was very put together, and she you could tell she came from like a good home. It's not like this poor like neglected child or something. She was
Mm-hmm.
definitely like making some kind of a statement with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was just looking at her slippers like an old lady would. Like I'm appalled. Like I want to take out my handkerchief and put it over my mouth. Like how could you?
Do you have a handkerchief? Follow-up question.
I
Is it embroidered?
just for
Your
moments like
initials?
that, I do. How could you wear slippers to a theme park? I was like, I just couldn't get over how stupid she looked. I was
Upon
like,
my honor.
I just want to like, I don't know. I just want to be that old. I get why old ladies become unfiltered. I wanted to walk up to her and be like, just so you know, this isn't working the way you think it is. Like, stop. Don't dress like that. It just, it upsets me.
Like how we're like 5 minutes ago, we're like, don't judge. Everyone can wear what they will wear.
As long as you're kind, the world will.
Now you're like,
Teenagers are disgusting. Don't come close to me. Oh my gosh.
okay, I would like to say it's not all teenagers.
No,
it's
it's
just
not.
like the trends and the things that they do.
Well, and here in Panaca, there's like a good handful of them that are cute enough to like say hi to
Yes.
me, and like I
Yeah.
love them. They're so
Yeah.
cute. But I'm like, some of them that just again that misplaced confidence. You have no experience. You're way too horny. You're gross. Like you don't even wash your hair, and you're walking around with a strut like you own the place. Like I just can't handle that combination. I'm like,
There's this girl I know, and like, she's like 17. How do I put this? I don't know. Anyway, she's not a drop dead model,
sure.
gorgeous model, we'll say. But she dresses so freaking cute. Like every
Mhm.
time I see her, I'm like, I have to tell her. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. And like their family has, I mean, not like rolling, but they're well off. And
Sure.
so like they just like, I don't know, buy nice clothes, take care
Yes.
of
Makes a
themselves, and
difference.
like,
Yeah.
gosh, she's like, she definitely looks pretty. Like after
Yep.
she gets all dressed up, and I'm like, dang, like you look like
Yep.
really cute.
She looks like she
Anyway.
cares about herself, which is attractive.
Yes, it's
That's
attractive. That's
yeah.
exactly right. She's very attractive, and I'm like, I
Yep.
think that's just can be all around, all across the board, you know.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I say that from somebody who does not have a very great sense of style. I don't know if that's true. I can't tell if I do or if I'm just too cheap. I'm like, am I cheap or do I just suck at
Probably
dressing?
you're
I don't know.
cheap because I bet if
Anyway,
you had endless money, you'd pick good.
yeah, yeah, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I just think that clothes matter, coming from
They
somebody who isn't
they
very
do
careful with
matter.
clothes.
Well, I think because of what it says about you, like
Yeah,
how you dress speaks about you. And then, not that you have to be fancy all the time, but you
yeah.
definitely should not be at a theme park in your freaking slippers and pajamas. You look like an idiot. Whoever you are out there, I hope you're hearing this. Don't do that. Oh, I can't. I just, again, it was like, okay, what bothered me about it was
Why does that bother?
not that she was, I'm still on this, was not that she was like, crap, I'm running late and I'm just going to go and I'm confident in myself and I don't care. It was like, I'm so hot, I can pull this off and I'm going to rock the world with my outfit. Like, it was this like swag behind this stupid decision that I just couldn't
My
handle. I was like,
gosh.
if you're going to come out like this, at least hang your head in humility. You'll work.
I keep having to like, oh, the cackle. I keep cackling, but oh my gosh.
Cackle.
Have
Don't
you
ever.
had any of those? Slippers like you.
Like, if you're wearing house slippers, you should walk around like this too.
Peasant, don't look me in the
and
eye.
again, there are so many circumstances here that make it sound like I am the most heartless bee ever. If she was so poor, that's all she could afford,
Yeah.
of course, that's different. You know what I mean? Like, if people just show up grungy because they can't afford anything, I don't even care at all. But the fact that she came from a well-off family and then was like following behind them, like with attitude and slippers, I was like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I'm like, and they tell the girls like, this isn't your whole goal in life. But I'm like, if you're concerned about attracting a mate, this is not the way to do it. You know, like you're making a lot of statements about yourself besides just your body, because you know that can be argued isn't healthy. But you're making a lot of statements about yourself that I wouldn't want out in the world without me.
Do you remember doing stuff like that as teenagers though?
Yep.
Don't you remember like we'd like go shopping at Walmart and we'd be like,
Remember my Hannah Montana backpack?
my jammies, yeah. Yeah, everything's just kinda like I'm like quirky. It was just like
Yeah, I can make fun of them because I was the top of.
It's so funny that we're saying that because I'm literally wearing sweatpants right now.
Well, I'm wearing no pants, so.
Please don't stand up. Like, oh, let me just go get.
I'm wearing very modest underwear, but it is like I'm wrapped up in a blanket. I'm like, I am just wearing a shirt, so. I feel like I try to say things like a dude would, and it's like, no, you can't say I'm not wearing pants when you're a girl on the podcast. But I promise it's not in a sexy way. I do not look cute. I just was like, I just don't. Yeah.
We're all picturing you pantsless.
Picture away. It's not as pretty as you think, I promise.
Picture it a few points less.
I know. Someone was saying something like, oh, what a creep they were. I can't remember. They might see me. And I was like, joke's on them if they see me naked. I've had 5 kids, so like, sucks to suck if you want to be creepy. You know?
Yeah. Like, well, this is reality, bud.
I really, like, if it wasn't morally wrong, would have 0 issues. Not like I'd like welcome it, but if someone was like, I'm gonna peeping Tom on you, I'd be like, that's your problem. Like,
you've always been so weird about that.
Well, I know, but I'm like, you're gonna get more than you bargained for. Like, you think it's one thing, but after 5 kids, it's another. So, sorry, sorry, you thought that was gonna be cool. Sorry, your fantasy led
we have this curtain that I hung up in our bathroom when we first moved there, and it's like, I thought, like, when I bought it, I thought it was, like, thicker than it was, and it's, like, it's pretty sheer. Anyway, and it's one of those things, it's like, you hang it up, and you're like, that will never come down. That will be there till I die.
Why is that? It's so true.
I don't know. Anyway, and every time I shower, like during the day, it's fine. And we live out in the country. There's not very many cars that come by, but during the day I'm fine. But at night, they knew, yeah, like they could totally see me because I'm sure that they can see right in. But like, yeah, I kind of have the same mindset. I'm like, well, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. You kind of just get to a point where you're like, joke's on you, buddy. You know. Yeah, I don't think I'm ugly, but there's definitely a lot more beautiful women you could peeping Tom on.
Yeah, you're like, if you want a pee-pee Tom, pee-pee.
Go pee-pee Tom on someone else.
Our neighbor's really hot. Go down there.
Right. I'm like, it's just...
She showers at 10 o'clock. Tell this schedule.
I was like, I don't know.
This is getting weird. Anyways.
This is getting really weird. We've gone down a road.
We've hit the 2-hour mark, that's why.
Okay, good. We're done. Wrap that up with the
Wrap it up.
Our naked mom bodies.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep, that is it for Sister Nat Chat, Mal and Nat, Sister Chat.
Chat,
this was
Nat,
fun.
Nat,
this
Mal,
was indeed
sister,
fun. Like,
women. The ones I observed from a distance who are doing really stupid things. I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough money to be a high school teacher. Like, there's not enough money in this world. Billions with a B wouldn't cut it.
If we're talking about generic teachers are saints, high school teachers are saints.
Yeah, they're going straight to heaven. No matter what their personalities are. Yep.
Oh, I would never. Even when I substitute taught, I specifically was like, I will not do middle school. I will not do high school. Yep. I will do elementary, and that is it. And they're like, please, we need a sub. I'm like, nope, sorry, figure it out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Figure out your own problems. I won't. Yeah, they... Yeah. They're just a lot. So.
Plus, I was like super young at the time, and I was like, I'm like maybe 5 years older than these guys. I'm not. No.
Oh, my friend, she subbed when she was in her early 20s, and she's like, I literally got hit on every single day. She's like, I had to like send kids to the office for saying gross things to me. So I'm like, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep. I feel like
many things I'd rather do.
That wouldn't even. That's easy to deal with.
Do you want to know my most irritating group? Okay, it's not even teenagers for me. It's like. We're already so offensive. Might as well go all the way. It's like single college age boys. I cannot stand them. Can't stand them.
You know what? If you like this category and you're cool,
they'll go to like
it's not you. It's the ones who are just like, who think they know everything. Oh my gosh.
They'll go to like one class and they'll be like, so now that I have my degree in psychology, and I'm like, you're 20 freaking years old. You don't know anything.
And you don't have a degree. They're like now that I've taken one psychology class in a community college.
My gosh.
Just like, I can't.
And they're always the one that leaves like the long comments online, and you're like, oh my gosh, finish school and then talk to me. Okay, but like there's these two boys that are like about that age that come to the gym the same time I do every time. They drive up in these like matching white Corvettes, like two little like chiclets. Like I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like blasting their music like. And like I always have to pass in front of them, and they're always like, and then they come in with their headphones over their hoodie, and they're just like, and I'm like, oh, I know they haven't even said anything to me.
I know. I'm sure they're children of God, but
I think we believe that. See, that's why I can't bear my testimony about that, because I don't know if I believe
We're all children of God, but some of us maybe aren't. No, I'm just kidding.
Except for college-age single men.
Oh man, that is such a.
I'm kidding.
You know what though? I don't think I've ever looked back at a stage of my life and not been like, "What a freaking idiot I was!" Like I was so immature. I was so obnoxious. I will look back on these podcasts and be like, what was I talking about? I thought I knew everything. I don't know anything.
I look back after like a week and I'm like, all right,
right? How does anyone listen to? I remember last time I've been wanting to correct this. I said that Tesla is cheaper insurance, and we looked it up, and it's not.
Right.
So. It actually is. If you go, Tesla offers its own insurance. So if you like insure through them, it's cheaper than like a regular car. Sounds like, because like
that's genius of them.
It is.
Why are they so genius?
So Elon Musk is doing this thing right now. He's saying that the new car the self-driving car that he's producing, you can own it and then send it. Like once you're done with it, it'll drive itself to like pick someone up and take them to an airport. It'll like be its own Uber, and you will get paid for that. So it's like part of the pitch of like buying his Tesla.
Oh my gosh, it's like a business.
He is so smart. I need to send you the actual videos because I might be misquoting that, but basically it's like
I think I heard that in that video you first sent me.
His car. You will
That's so cool.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
genius.
I think he's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and like here at the end, we'll just say if we offended you, we're sorry. We're not trying to be brats. Kevin, I'm sorry.
We'll just put that meme at the
Put
end every
Buzz's
time.
face on every video at the end.
Kevin, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, Buzz, that was lovely.
That was lovely. So
Beat
glad.
that little fart sniffer. Sorry if you're a teenager. Just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye, Natty.
Bye.
Everybody.